What is going on, everybody? I'm coming at you with something a little bit different today. Some more One Piece action, but today I'm not going to be playing. It's two of my friends, and we're seeing Kaido against Zoro. And the Kaido matchup is super duper fun for Zoro, I think. Just, you have to play around getting deleted. All your bodies are super vulnerable to all the cards that Kaido has to offer. So Zoro's going to swing at life at 7k and then drop a Nami to get a search off. I think putting Kaido under pressure early and forcing him to lose life is not what they want. If you can let Kaido stall out and come back into the game with 2 or 3 life and then wipe your board and force you to recover from that, it's pretty rough. But if you can get him down early, then you're feeling pretty good. Kaido is going to swing at 5k, and then he's going to drop his Onigashima Island to active another Dawn. And if you're playing against Kaido and they open Onigashima Island turn 2, you know that you're in for a pretty ramped up game, and that's always tough to deal with, I think. So Zoro's going to keep swinging at face here, looks like. We're going to swing 5k Nami at leader, again getting those swings early, and then again 7k hard to deal with. He's going to drop a bunch of counter here on the Nami here. He's going to drop 7k and 2k plus 1k in counter. The purple decks also have access to a lot of counter. I think I've seen a lot of purple decks running like 16 2k counters, which is pretty absurd considering how much removal they have. So, being able to run that much counter and then also simultaneously being able to play cards that have a lot of removal, it means that you can stall out pretty well in the early game. We're going to see a queen dropped here, and I think that's kind of a misplay because we know that the Zoro player just picked up a jet pistol, so the queen is pretty easily dealt with here. This should be a pretty free counter for the Zoro player, and then there is 2 Dawn up for Kaido here, and they have 4 life, but the Nami is going to go down to the Kaido swing, and they're going to play a Black Maria. But again, like, the queen is easily dealt with a jet pistol, and then I feel like Black Maria, yeah, they can survive the swing, but you're basically just playing queen for the value of the draw 2 trash 1, which is like, it's a +1, I guess, or no, it's a +1. It's not really a +1 because you're going even, but we're gonna get Diablo Jambe for 7k at leader here, forcing out 3k in counter, and with only 4 cards in hand, if Kaido does counter this, like, he's feeling like he's in a pretty bad spot because being down to just 2 cards in hand feels pretty bad, but he doesn't end up taking it, and he's got 5 cards in hand here, and there are some items that he can do, some plays that he can make with the 9 Dawn here. The 9 Dawn turns pretty good because you can drop out Rush Kaido, or you can play another queen or king here. He's going to pop the Nami with the king, and then use Onigashima Island to return the Dawn that just sent back to his Dawn deck. I think Kaido decks, again, if you can stall out to like your 9 Dawn, 10 Dawn turns, getting out Rush Kaido, getting out 10 drop Kaido, it feels pretty strong. We're going to see a leader swing at life here, and I mean, Zoro's in a pretty decent position here because they haven't really invested a ton of resources in to swinging at Kaido. Like, they still have all of their Rush characters. They haven't used a single one, and they've managed to do 2 damage already to Kaido. And yes, there's a blocker out there for Kaido here. However, Kaido player is getting pretty low on hand size right now, and they're going to end up passing back with 3 Dawn active, which is telling you that they probably have a couple of cards that they can't really use, probably a Thunder Bagua or a Sheep's Horn in hand, maybe a Blast Breath. So normally I would think that the Zoro player would just swing with everything here, but because there's 3 Dawn up, dropping all the Rush characters is not super important. So we are going to see the Ben Beckman dropped here. And I think after the game, we talked about how this was a bit of a misplay to drop the Ben Beckman. Just because if there's a 10 drop Kaido here, the 7 Dawn is wasted. And like, yes, 7 Dawn, like, it's important, and like, you're gonna be able to maybe swing with them, but again, if there's a 10 drop Kaido coming out, then you do just lose this 7 Dawn, and the Kaido has a big body on board. So we are gonna see the king swing countered, and then our Rush Kaido is gonna come out. And then Onigashima Island to tap to restore Dawn, and then Kaido's going to swing at life, and you're going to have to take that one as well. I think taking the leader swing was probably a bit of a mistake, because now you're down to 2 life here, and there's 2 massive bodies out here. And yes, the Beckman can swing over the king here for, you know, 10k at 7k when you 1 Dawn, and the leader is pretty fine. But there's 5 cards in the Kaido player's hand, so... And there's 1 Dawn up, so the Blast Breath. So I think you have to invest pretty heavily to swing over anything right now. Obviously, 1 Dawn under Zoro to give your Zoro leader, you know, 1. Just kind of splitting up his Dawn to see, you know, what he wants to do. I personally would probably have to deal with the big Kaido, because at least with the king, you're more likely to be able to counter it than you are to counter the Kaido swings, because 10k already is 5k worth of counter. And I'm not sure if the Zoro player is playing any Gum Firehawk in his deck, or any Radical Beams, because I haven't seen them in so far, and this deck list does look a bit different. We're seeing a lot of vanillas so far, not a lot of rush characters, so I'm just not sure if there's a lot of vanilla heavy or what it may be. I know that the vanilla characters are nice because they do have a lot of counters on them, whereas the rush characters don't. But we're going to see 1 Dawn going to the Zoro here, leaving 3 Dawn up. And I think again, 9k is hard to deal with for most decks, but purple is one of those decks that does not have a problem dealing with the 9k bodies. So it's a pretty big swing though. We're looking at 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16k at Kaido, which means that they're going to have to invest 3 cards to block this. So Blast Breath plus 2k plus 1k. Yeah, so they have it. Yeah, they have that, and that feels pretty bad to have that happen to you. But I mean, at least at this point, you should be able to get rid of the king. And getting rid of the king here would be nice, because I mean, you could. There's only 2 cards left in hand, so if it's a 2k counter, you just load up your Zoro here to I think 9k is what you have to load him up to. Though is the problem. Yeah, I think you have to just go all at king and force them to protect it, and king's gonna go down. So I think maybe invest a bit more Dawn into the Kaido, force out 2 2k counters, because I think the big Kaido is a bigger problem, but they're able to clear the king off here. And now the Kaido player's got 3 cards in hand. It looks like one of them is going to be a Sheep's Horn. So I think in this situation, if you just load up Leader Kaido and you load up Big Kaido, Rush Kaido, then you just have 2 life gone, and you're putting Zoro in a pretty rough position. There's no way that Zoro is really going to be able to threaten you if you leave 2 Dawn up to go lethal next turn, if you just swing face. And yeah, Zoro will have lots of cards in hand, but I think again, yeah, all you do is leave 2 up and you just load up the leader, and then you swing both at face. Just counting out the Dawn here. Oh, he's only going to leave 1 up, so that means it's probably a Blast Breath in hand. So I believe that's oh, he's going to trash, and he's going to swing 11k at Leaf, and that's going to be game, honestly. Yeah, that's going to be game. I didn't even think about that. That was super smart, honestly. The Kaido trashing and just going for face there. Really great play. And shows how much I play Kaido. But yeah, great play there. We are seeing the double Shanks in hand, and I'm thinking the turn that he played Ben Beckman here, that he should have played a Shanks. And that would have forced out a lot. But I mean, it doesn't really matter at this point. Game's over. But if you guys enjoy this, please continue, watching the videos, like and subscribe. I appreciate all the support that I've been getting, and I really appreciate it. So until next time, Monty out.